Let's remind ourselves of the question: how do you exit the rat race when school never taught you anything real about money? The answer is actually simple. You stop playing the game they trained you for and start playing the game that actually makes people wealthy. But to do that, there are a few things you need to know. And no, not in a boring professor tone. This is 13-minute finance style. Simple, fun, and straightforward. Welcome to 13 Min Finance. Let's start with a brutally honest question. Are you actually in the rat race? Or are you just someone who likes rat race memes on Instagram while living the exact same cycle every month? Picture this for a second. You wake up, grab your phone, open your banking app, and your balance quietly whispers, "Bro, we're dying." A few days after payday, the numbers look like they've been on a diet. The credit card statement shows up, you scroll, and your brain goes, "We'll deal with this later." Spoiler, you never do. You tell yourself comforting stories. I just need a raise. I just need a better job. I just need that one big trade to fix everything. That's not a plan. That's a rat trying to outrun a treadmill. The real rat race is not simply working a 9-to-5 job. The real rat race is this cycle. Money comes in from your job, freelance, side hustle, and almost immediately flows out into rent, food, subscriptions, debt payments, and random "I deserved this" purchases. You stay one bad week away from disaster, one job loss, one health problem, one emergency bill, and everything collapses. If your life basically sounds like, "I'm not working because I like it, I'm working because I have to," then you are in the rat race. And weirdly enough, that's good news, because at least now you're being honest with yourself. So let's attack the big question. Why did school never teach you about money? Think about it. You spent years learning how to factor polynomials, memorize poems, and regurgitate random facts about geography. You had to know the capital city of some country you might never visit, on command, or you'd lose points. But nobody sat you down and said, "Here is how interest works. Here is how debt traps you. Here is how to create a simple budget. And here is what actually makes people financially free." Why? Let's be blunt with 3 harsh truths. First, school was designed to create employees, not investors or entrepreneurs. The system came from an industrial age idea. We need people who show up on time, follow orders, sit still, don't question too much, and trade hours for money. They trained you to be a good worker, not a good owner. Second, most teachers were never taught money themselves. They are not evil or stupid. They're just not trained in personal finance, investing, or business at a serious level. You cannot teach what you do not understand deeply. Third, money is controversial. Talk about math? Safe. Talk about basic history? Safe. Talk honestly about how the economic system benefits some people and crushes others financially? That gets uncomfortable. And institutions avoid uncomfortable. So no, it's not entirely your fault that nobody taught you real money skills in school. But it is your responsibility now. In school, if they ever mentioned money, it sounded like this boring definition. Money is a medium of exchange. Cool, that's technically true and completely useless for your real life. In reality, money feels like stress, fear, relief, power, security, or shame. It decides whether you can say no to a toxic boss, whether you can move cities, whether your parents can retire, whether you can take a break without panicking. So let's upgrade the definition. Money is a tool that represents value and choices. You create value for others and they give you money. You hold and grow that money and it buys you choices. You burn that money on instant gratification and you destroy your choices. If your entire relationship with money is just, I work, I get paid, I spend, you're seeing one tiny layer of the game. Financially free people see something different. They ask questions like, how can I create value once and get paid many times? How can I use money to buy assets instead of only expenses? How can I make my money work harder than I do? School taught you, be a good worker. Exiting the rat race teaches you, be a good creator, owner, and allocator. To escape the rat race, you don't need 97 hacks. You need to understand one brutal equation. Net wealth equals what you produce minus what you consume. Production is everything you do that creates value. Your job, your skills, your side business, your content, your products, your services. Consumption is everything you do that eats that value. Your lifestyle, your subscriptions, your shopping, your just this once treats, your flex purchases. Most people are stuck not because they never increase production, but because every time production goes up, their consumption climbs even faster. Salary up 20%, lifestyle up 25%. Got a bonus? New phone. Earn some freelance money? Weekend trip. They never allow the gap between production and consumption to grow. That gap is exactly where freedom money lives. So the first real question is not, how can I make more money? It's, of all the money that has already entered my life, how much actually stayed? Here's a simple challenge. Tonight, before you sleep, open your banking app and scroll through the last 30 days. Find the single most useless recurring expense you are paying every month without thinking. Then comment it below. You'll see how many people are bleeding from the exact same places. If you've made it this far, stay in the boat. We're going deeper. Before we continue, hit like, drop a quick comment, and subscribe. It helps this message reach more people who need it. Step 1. See the maze you're running in. You cannot escape a maze you refuse to look at. That's why so many people stay trapped. It usually looks like this. Paycheck day. Oh, nice. I can breathe again. 10 days later. Wait, what happened? Banking app? We don't open that. It ruins my mood. That is the ostrich strategy. Head in the sand, credit card in the air. So step 1 of exiting the rat race is awareness. First, track all your expenses for 1 month. Not just the big ones. Track the coffee, snacks, delivery orders, random "I worked hard, I deserved this" purchases. Second, group them into 3 simple buckets. Bucket 1, must live. Rent, basic food, utilities. Bucket 2, nice to have. Entertainment, streaming, occasional eating out. Bucket 3, ego boosters. Flex shopping, unnecessary upgrades. I just want them to see me purchases. Third, calculate. Total income minus total expenses. That number is your reality, not your feeling. You will either feel proud, which is rare, or you will feel slightly sick, which is very normal. When that happens, don't escape into TikTok for 3 hours. Pause, take a breath, and remind yourself, this discomfort is the price of getting out of the rat race. Step 2, stop digging hole deeper. If you're in a hole, the first step is simple. Stop digging. You cannot keep taking every raise and immediately upgrading your lifestyle. You cannot swipe your credit card for every emotion. Then complain, I don't know why I'm always broke. Here's a simple rule school never gave you. Lifestyle upgrades must always lag behind income upgrades. If your income goes up 20%, maybe your lifestyle goes up 5 to 10%, and the rest goes into paying off debt, building an emergency fund, investing, or building skills. So here are concrete actions. 1. Kill at least 1 recurring bill this month. Unused subscriptions, random apps, forgotten memberships. 2. Set a minimum saving percentage, even if it's 5 to 10% at first. Automate it on payday so you don't rely on future willpower. 3. Stop flexing for people who do not pay your bills. Harsh truth. Strangers' opinions might be the most expensive habit on earth. Step 3. Build real production, not just more hours. Now that you're not burning everything you earn, we can finally talk about production. Escaping the rat race is not work 80 hours instead of 40, or sleep 3 hours and grind harder. That's just a more stylish cage. The real move is to change how you earn. Instead of only, I trade my time for money, you start asking, how can I use my time to build things that earn money, even when I'm not actively there? That might look like learning a skill that pays more per hour. Design, coding, sales, editing, copywriting, whatever fits you. Building a side project that scales, like a YouTube channel, digital product, online course, or a small specialized service. Putting money into long-term investments, index funds, solid businesses, maybe real estate when done calmly, not like a gambler. School trained you to be good at tasks. Exiting the rat race requires you to be good at creating value. A task mindset says, do this assignment exactly how the teacher wants. A value mindset says, solve a problem someone cares about enough to pay for it. Step 4. 3 money concepts school forgot. Let's be real. You don't need a PhD in finance to escape the rat race. You need to deeply understand just 3 concepts school never properly explained. Number 1, assets versus liabilities. An asset is something that puts money into your pocket over time. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket over time. Many people stay broke because they call liabilities their rewards. I earned this car. You also earned the never-ending payments. Number 2, compounding. Money plus time plus consistency equals scary strong results. The same compounding also works against you. Interest on debt, bad habits, delaying decisions. When you ignore problems, they compound silently. Number 3, inflation and taxes. If your money just sits while prices go up, you are quietly getting poorer. If you only earn in the most taxed way, salary, and never think about tax-efficient investing or business structures, you bleed more than you realize. None of this is rocket science. It's just that nobody put it on a whiteboard for you when you were 16. So here's your tiny rebellion against that. Save this video. Rewatch this section once a month until you can explain these 3 concepts to someone else without notes. If you can teach it, you truly understand it. School made you memorize. We're here to help you comprehend. Step 5. Redefine success so the rat race loses power. One last thing school never told you. The rat race feeds on your definition of success. If success for you is newest phone every year, car that impresses people you don't even like, posting fake luxury to look rich on social media, then the rat race owns you. You gave it direct access to your decisions. But if success shifts into something else, the game changes. Success becomes, I can say no to a toxic job because I have a financial cushion. I sleep without debt anxiety breathing down my neck. My money is gradually buying back my time. You exit the rat race long before you become filthy rich. In conclusion, the system did not prepare you for this game. They handed you a diploma, not a financial statement. They graded your exams, not your net worth. But you're here, watching finance content on purpose. That already puts you in a different category than the average scroll, complain, repeat player. So your mission from this video is simple. Pick one spending habit to kill this week. Pick one skill or asset to build this year. And pick one person to share this mindset with. So you're not the only one in your circle trying to leave the maze. This is 13-Minute Finance. We're not here to hype you with get rich quick. We're here to help you stay rich, slowly. Stay rich till next video.